With modern day fishing, there's lots of little devices and gadgets out nowadays that make fishing a lot simpler. When I'm feeder fishing or when I'm ledger fishing, one of the little devices that's come out, it's absolutely awesome, is a Corum quick change bead. It comes in two sizes, a small and a large. Generally match anglers use a small one, the big fish anglers like to use a large one. These make feeder fishing and ledger fishing so much easier. I think they're the best little device ever to come out. It makes life a lot easier. To make them work, all you do, first of all, if I'm ledger fishing, I use a 5 or a 6 pound Corum reel line. I'll put the feeder, whether it be method or free running feeder, onto the line, just thread it through. Then one of the most important things is when you get to the end of the line, always cut it with a pair of scissors so it's not leaving a flat spot. The simple reason is the Corum quick change bead comes in two parts. First part is a little bead where you just put the line, there's a hole in one end and it runs through, so it runs through up the line. Then the next part is like a little connector, a bit like where you attach your line to your elastic. It's just a little connector like that. In one end it's got a little hole, and all you do, and one of the reasons why you cut your line, is you thread your line through like so, pull it through. Now then, this is the most important part of putting a quick change bead on the line. It wants to be half a blood knot, but you need to wrap it round 6, 7 or 8 times. I always go for lucky 7. And then pass it back through the loop that you've just created near the bead. But don't pull it, just put it together like that so you know it's going to work, then wet it. Wet the whole knot, because you always wet before you pull the knot tight, and then you'll see that the line will run up to it. When it runs up to it like so, you can see that it's run up to it, and it's actually all in a line now, the little knot. But at this point, what I always do, I always make sure, because if there's ever a weak point, this is going to be it. So all I do, I make sure that it's tied up to it, and the little bit of line that's stuck out, I just pull that as a security measure. Then I get my scissors and I cut it off. Then what happens is the bead then runs up to the connector and it fits on. There's nothing more smoother than that. And then your feeder then runs down onto the bead. As you can see, the bead part, then the feeder is well and truly supported with that bead. It protects it bouncing about and makes it life a lot easier. But the beauty about the Corum quick change bead is this: when you pull that back and split it again, you've got a little hook in the other part. So when you've got your hook length, all you do is get your hook length, put your hook length over, and then the bead goes over and traps the loop of the hook length like so. And you've got your hook length and your bead. So when your feeder comes down, it traps. Now all I do when I'm fishing, because it's easy to change in hook length, all I do, I might have 3 red maggots, a hairy piece of corn, and if I want to change the bait while I'm fishing, the hook, I just take that off and I get the other bait and put it over, and I can change the hook bait as quick as that. That's the advantage of the Corum quick change bead. It's one of the best little devices ever brought out in fishing.